I'm warning you now, May is when you can accidentally cut your summer harvest in half. To make matters worse, you won't realize it until it's too late. Now, your garden looks great now in spring. That's the trap. But once summer hits and temperatures climb into the 90s and triple digits, greens bolt, tomatoes stop setting fruit, and harvests drop right when you expect it to take off. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what to plant in May so this doesn't happen to you. First is greens. Now, this is what I call my 48-hour greens reset. Your cool season lettuce and greens might still look okay right now, but once the temps push into the 80s and higher, they're not going to keep producing the same way, even if they still look fine. So instead of trying to push them through the heat, switch to greens that actually handle the heat, because this is when lettuce starts bolting and you stop getting usable harvests. And you've probably already seen this happening in your garden. If you want to keep harvesting through summer, this is a switch you make now. Now, when greens start to bolt, or I've got gaps in the bed somewhere, I clear that out and replant it within 24 to 48 hours. Because if I don't, I'll put it off and the next thing I know, I've lost a week or two and there's nothing coming in. Now, this is where I go right back into my beds and plant heat-tolerant greens. Red amaranth, Florida broadleaf mustard, and KX kale. These handle the heat and give you another harvest fast and just keep producing when other greens start slowing down. Super easy to do. I just sprinkle in the seeds, cover them lightly, water, and keep that top layer moist for a few days. That's it. No perfect grows here in my garden. This isn't a magazine garden after all. Half the time, I'm just tossing seeds in here and it works and they grow. Now, you can do this right after pulling plants or even tuck seeds in between existing plants if there's room. Now, these grow quick. You'll usually see them sprout in about 3 to 5 days. And in about 3 to 4 weeks, you'll be picking fresh greens instead of staring at empty beds. If my beds are full, I don't wait. I'll plant some of these in my self-watering patio containers, my garden your way pots, right outside the house. So I can step out, grab some basil or quick greens and take it straight into the kitchen to make a salad or sprinkle onto whatever I'm cooking on the grill. Now, I've also got some kale going in other containers, so I'm still getting greens even when my beds are full. So do you see what we did here? Even when your beds are maxed out, you've still got food coming in. Now, I also plant seeds in 6-packs. This way, when I pull something out of my garden beds, I've already got plants ready to go in, and I'm not waiting weeks for a new harvest. I just fill the 6-packs with soil, sprinkle the seeds, cover them lightly, and keep them moist. Quick and simple. No grow lights. These stay outside in the warm spring sun. Morning sun is best, and a little afternoon shade so they don't dry out too fast. And they're up in just a few days. At the same time, I'm starting my summer workhorse greens in 6-packs, purslane and Malabar spinach. Again, so when I pull something out, I've already got strong plants ready to go in. Now, these greens don't just tolerate the heat, they thrive in it. That's why I love these to keep summer greens rolling right along. Now, I also have some perennial greens in the mix, like this red vein sorrel over here. I start it first in flats and then transplant it once it's established. You plant it once and it keeps coming back, and this is a real workhorse as well. You can keep harvesting from it over and over and over. All these greens are part of my heat-tolerant green seed collection. Right now, they're 50% off with the code PLANTMORE over on our site. Now let's talk about tomatoes. That same mistake, waiting until you see the slowdown, is exactly what's going to happen with your tomatoes too. Now, your tomatoes probably look great right now. They're growing, green, everything looks on track. But once midsummer hits and the heat ramps up, that's when production starts to drop off. So here's your strategy. Start your second wave of tomatoes now. So when your current plants slow down in the heat, you've already got the next round coming in. Because once those daytime temps start pushing into the 90s and 100s, these tomato blossoms start drying up and dropping off, and fruit set slows way down. You've probably seen it. Big plants, not a lot of new tomatoes coming in. Does that sound familiar? Now you know why. So instead of waiting for that slowdown, I start my second wave now indoors. I plant seeds about 1/4 inch deep in 6-packs, keep them warm, and they germinate in about 5 to 10 days. Starting these seeds indoors gives them steady light and consistent temperature, so they size up a whole lot faster for transplanting outside. And this part is key. I'm not planting big indeterminate varieties. You know, those big vining types that take a lot longer to start producing, produce all season long. Now, these are great to plant early on in your garden now in spring, but here's where the strategy really kicks in for you. For the second wave, I want speed and timing. So I'm planting determinate tomatoes like Tiny Tim, Golden Nugget, and Oregon Spring tomatoes. These are compact, fast growers. They set fruit well on the heat. They're perfect for strong, late summer harvests because determinate tomatoes stay smaller, mature quicker, about 60 to 75 days after transplant, and produce most of their harvest in a short window, which means you can tuck them into open spots or containers in your garden without taking over your entire space. Now, you don't wait for the slowdown. You plant the next round before it hits now in May. That's how you stay ahead with tomatoes. The third group of vegetables to plant now in May are your power producers: beans, cucumbers, and squash. Now, these are fast-growing, high-yield crops that keep pumping out a ton of food and give you the most harvest for the space. Perfect for keeping your garden loaded with food all summer long. Now, you might be thinking, my garden's already full. Good. That's exactly when you plant these. You don't wait for things to slow down and then try and catch up. You stay ahead of it. Now, the plants you have going now will get beat up in the summer heat, even though they look great now. Pests and diseases come in, and you may need to pull them out. And if nothing's ready to go in behind it, all of a sudden you've got nothing to pick and nothing new coming on. So you plant the next round before the first round is finished. Are you seeing the theme here? So you don't hit that empty stretch in the middle of the summer. That's succession planting. By doing this, you're being a smart gardener and continuing your harvest. So you can direct sow these right outside, right in your garden beds or your containers. They do a lot better now once the soil and air are warm. They sprout fast, they take off quickly. All you have to do is just pop seeds around the edges of beds, find those empty spaces in your garden and even in containers, anywhere you can get seeds in some soil, and tuck some plants in. My favorite power producer varieties from midsummer harvest are smaller plants. Not the big humongous varieties, but ones that will give you a quick harvest in 4 to 6 weeks and are easy to grow, like scallop squash. This one comes in early and just keeps going as long as you keep harvesting it. Now, the Diva cucumbers, these don't even need pollination. They just keep pumping out crazy amounts of cucumbers. And Trilogy beans, they come in fast and give you a solid, colorful harvest. I created a new summer harvest seed bundle. I've made it easy for you to plant this month, and you don't even have to think about it. Now, this bundle is packed with a lot of the vegetables I've talked about in this video, and it's half off right now. Remember, in May, you're not planting for today. You're planting for what you're going to be harvesting in about 6 to 8 weeks. You've got your green cycling, your second wave of tomatoes started, and now you've got your power producers coming in again. Now, here's what I want you to do. Grab your bundle, get your seeds started now. Come midsummer when you're harvesting loads of beautiful vegetables from your garden. Trust me, you'll be so glad you did. Thanks for watching. See you next time in the garden.